Tonight on Newscenter, find out what it takes to build a homecoming float, go behind the scenes with the Underground Cafe, and see if the Vulcans can end Clarion's unbeaten streak. All these stories and more next on Newscenter.
Good evening and welcome to Cutv Newscenter for the week of October 29th, 2015. I'm Zach Proswell.
And I'm Jennifer Germano. One of the biggest events of last week's homecoming festivities was the annual parade. While seeing the floats is an exciting moment, it is even better to see the work that goes on into building them. CUTV's own Mason Brow takes us behind the scenes of building a homecoming float.
Once every year, graduated students, both young and old, flock back to their old stomping grounds for homecoming. A festivity that gets current and graduated students excited is the traditional homecoming float parade. I am here at Alpha Kappa Lambda Fraternity to give you a behind-the-scenes look of what it takes to build a worthy float. This group had an interesting twist on the superhero theme of this year. I spoke with Janine Dunbar from Alpha Sigma Alpha about why they picked to honor the first responders and military over the classic superhero.
Well, last year for homecoming we were paired with Acacia and we did a project for wounded warriors with our float, and I think that really just meant a lot to us to not just spend our week building a homecoming float to be torn down at the end of the week, but that does something to help other people and honors other people, and I think that really meant a lot to us last year, so we wanted to carry it into this year as well.
But even with all the benefits comes a few inevitable drawbacks.
Besides the rain that's holding us back right now, everything else is going pretty well. The most difficult factor is the moving part. We're going to overcome it by having one of our brothers who's an engineering major figure out an idea.
And there you have it. I'm Mason Brow for CUTV News Center.
And next Thursday, November the 5th, is the fall semester's Campus Talk, held by President Geraldine Jones. This event will also be the monthly House of Reps meeting, so a representative from every club and organization must be present at the event. The CalCard readers will be at the event as well to credit attendees with their attendance. Registration for the spring semester starts next Monday, and there is a new academic hold for students looking to register. Every student must accept financial obligations before their classes are officially registered for. The only step needed is to register for classes, and then when prompted, hit accept for all financial obligations for the classes.
In celebration of the Day of the Dead, the CalU Modern Language Club, in partnership with the Hispanic Students Association, will hold an event in the Mandarino Library from 11 to 2. There will be food, displays, and activities to participate in as they learn about the significance of cultural aspects of Hispanic history. Have you ever found loose change lying around your house and just thought that it was no big deal? Well, for one man in Ruston, Louisiana, his loose change, consisting of pennies, added into a deposit of $5,136.14. Otha Anders has been saving the pennies for 45 years, and the total collection took up to 15-gallon milk jugs and had just over 500,000 coins. Maybe that will help you to think that spare change could come in handy one day.
For nearly 4 decades, China has had a ban on families letting them only have one child. Well, today, China has officially lifted that ban and now allows families to have up to 2 children. That may not seem like such an increase, but stop and think of the families that had to keep possible other children secret because of the law. Then, this new ruling really comes into perspective and brings a good light to Chinese society.
To find out the latest news on campus and elsewhere, make sure you pick up a copy of the Cal Times when it is released every Friday around campus. To preview what is coming up in this week's edition, we sat down with Jose Negron, editor-in-chief of the Cal Times.
Hey CalU, this is Jose Negron. In this week's edition of the Cal Times, we got a lot in store for you. In news, we have a brief piece on a hockey apparel site that was created by CalU students. In opinion, we have a piece on the controversy over Caitlyn Jenner costumes for Halloween. And in sports, we have a piece on CalU taking down Clarion during homecoming. Be sure to pick up a copy of the Cal Times around campus and check us out at caltimes.org.
So Jen, you mentioned a story about how one man in Louisiana ended up over $5,000 in pennies. I know for me, the spare change that I always have, whether going to restaurants and paying with cash and stuff, it all goes to toll money because the tolls are so outrageously expensive up here in Pennsylvania. Being from Georgia, we don't have those back home, so I have to kind of budget elsewhere. What do you do with your spare change?
It either goes to tolls or, honestly, I put it somewhere and forget about where it is. And then when I go clean my room or clean the house, I find a lot of money. And it's really nice because it's kind of like an extra payday. And it ends up to be a nice amount, let's just say that.
Yeah, I always remember growing up like in Kroger back home, seeing all those, dump your coins in, get the money. So maybe you'll see those come back into fruition. So, and coming up after the break, Damon Matson has your weather forecast. Stay tuned.
The time is now, the place is here. Stop running, face your fear. When it all comes down to this, you only get one shot, can't afford to miss. The time is now, the place is here. Stop running, face your fear. When it all comes down to this, you only get one shot, can't afford to miss. So, let's get it, let's go. Go hard and go home.
How's it going, Cal U? I'm student meteorologist Damon Matson here with your weather forecast for this week. But let's take a look at the weather headlines. Now, yesterday we saw those soaking rain showers throughout the area as it was a hassle getting to and from classes. I know I got soaked going to and from classes yesterday, but so far today we've seen the sunny skies return and the cooler temperatures as well. And then the question is, are we going to see those temperatures warm back up to close to 70 degrees this weekend? I'll let you know as we go through the forecast. Yesterday, though, we saw our high temperature just be about our average. The low temperature was just a little bit above. But again, that rainfall is the thing that we were keeping an eye on. Almost 1.25 inches fell in the last 24 hours from yesterday. And that sunrise and sunset, we're going to see those times fall back an hour going into the weekend as we lose daylight savings time. So just keep an eye on that. Looking at the temperatures throughout the area so far today, we're seeing mid-40s most of the way through southwest PA and our area and into the 50s down into West Virginia. But for the most part, we're staying relatively cool compared to yesterday where we saw temperatures drop off from about 10 degrees up in Cleveland and Canton and then about 8 degrees from where we were this time yesterday with all the rain and the showers moving through the area. National temperatures, we're seeing those 30s and the 20s really going down into the Mountain West with the Canadian air seeping in, but then along the East Coast, 66 in Atlanta, 70 in Boston. We're still seeing that front making its way out onto the coast, so we're still seeing a little bit of those warmer temperatures stick around, and that you can see that right here, still 16 degrees warmer in Boston than we were yesterday, but for the most part, everybody really cooling down with that front passing through. Looking for your rest of your forecast for today, high temperature of about 57 degrees, mostly sunny skies, but watch out for the wind, gusts up to 35 miles an hour the rest of today. Tonight, low of about 38 degrees with mostly cloudy skies, and then tomorrow, those clouds are going to continue to pick up. The temperature is going to drop a little bit as we're going to prepare to get some possible rain moving into the weekend, high of about 52 tomorrow. And then there it is Saturday, high of 58 sunny skies, but by Sunday, those rain showers are going to be back into the area with a high of around 60, and then Monday into Tuesday, we're going to see temperatures get back up close to 70, and the sun is going to return. So guys, it looks like we're going to have a little bit of nice weather for Halloween. The rain may pick up by the evening hours, so we're going to hope to hold that off so everybody can go trick-or-treating and do everything else they want to for Halloween.
Yeah, hopefully it can all stave off. And I know next week, it seems like from what I've heard, it's going to warm up again. So weather needs to make up its mind at some point whether it's going to stay hot or cold.
And I know a lot of people, as far as trunk-or-treating or trick-or-treating goes, a lot of people are doing trick-or-treating or trunk-or-treating on either tonight or Friday night. So hopefully the weather on Saturday won't have any effect on that either.
Well, either way, it looks like they'll have some good weather going into doing that. So,
thanks, Damon. And good to have you back in the weather lab at Eberly. Always good to see that. So.
When we come back, Ryan Kaufman takes over the entertainment report. Stay tuned.
Catch all the excitement under the Friday Night Lights with CUTV's High School Football Game of the Week. You have the best seats in the house as the area's longest-running high school football telecast, now in its 29th season, brings you the area's biggest games. Don't forget to watch the replay on CUTV, Sundays at 8 and Thursdays at 5:30. Since 1937, the Student Association Incorporated, known as SAI, has served the Cal U student body by providing activities, programs, and services. Every enrolled student has the ability to take part in over 125 different clubs and organizations. Managing participation in every SAI activity is easy with OrgSync, a powerful tool for staying connected. Located 1 mile from campus, the SAI Farm has 94 acres of meeting and recreational space. SAI, it's your student association.
Welcome back to CUTV News Center. I'm Matt Heggie with your entertainment report. With over 100 clubs and organizations on campus, we had reporter Anthony D'Agostino go out and shed some light on some of these different clubs.
This is Anthony D'Agostino reporting for CUTV. Over the course of the semester, I'll be taking you on a guided tour of the different clubs and organizations you can be a part of here at Cal U. This week I had the pleasure of speaking with Jose Negron, president of the Underground Cafe. Jose first discussed what the Underground Cafe does.
The Underground Cafe is a weekly open mic night that we have every Thursday from 9 to midnight. It is an outlet for student performers to come out and showcase their abilities, whether it's poetry, whether it's music, spoken word, comedy, different outlets, a place where people can just come and relax, and just a place where people can show off what kind of talents they have.
He next explained why students should join the Underground Cafe Planning Committee.
Well, the Underground Cafe really is a place where people can get involved, whether it's getting involved with the marketing aspect of the Underground, whether it's getting involved with setting up every week. So it's a great opportunity for students to come in and kind of get background in different types of music and different kind of just the behind the scenes of what goes into putting on a show. We're pretty much putting on a weekly concert, basically.
Lastly, he explained how students could perform at the Underground Cafe if they wished.
Every week, we take pretty much first come, first serve. Students come in and sign up for 10-minute time slots throughout the night.
The Underground Cafe meets every Thursday night at 7 p.m. in room 321 of Natali. And that's all for this week. If you would like your club or organization to be highlighted on CUTV News Center, be sure to tweet us at CUTV_PA and make sure to leave the appropriate contact information. For CUTV News Center, I'm Anthony D'Agostino.
Each week of the year, videos go viral and crazy new inventions are put on the market. Our own Mike Mays shows us what he found while digging on the internet this week.
Hi, my name is Mike Mays. My friends consider me an expert on finding strange and little weird things online. So here are 3 things I found online this week. An 83-year-old woman woke up and found a Mustang on the roof of her house. The driver lost control on the highway and ended up on the roof, which is almost level to the ground. A study done by Clear Labs shows that hot dogs contains human DNA. The human DNA found in the hot dogs are from humans' hair and fingernails. And last, a balloon artist recreates frozen Jurassic Park and other creatures. Known as the Balloon Guy, Rob Driscoll travels the world creating his sculptures for parties and in special events. So there you have it, my 3 things I found online for this week. If you guys find anything, let us know. For CUTV News Center, I'm Mike Mays.
Move your spare tire and decorate your trunk because it's trunk or treat time. The Village Early Childhood Education Center will host this event tomorrow at 4:30 p.m. behind the Presbyterian Church. There will be a trunk decorating contest, and you can participate by decorating your car's trunk or just bringing your children for a fun-filled evening of trick-or-treat. Thursday, October 30th will feature Cal U's Halloween Monster Bash. From 7 p.m. until 11:45 p.m., go to the Convocation Center to enjoy free laser tag, the Underground Cafe featuring a costume contest, and Monster Bingo for a chance to win shop dollars, shirts, and Cal U apparel. Every once in a while, a political figure or a celebrity will say or do something that makes you stop and think to yourself, did I just hear that correctly? As the entertainment anchor, it is my job to bring these, shall we say, bizarre actions to light. Let's begin with the fact that Trump got trumped in the latest CBS and New York Times national poll. Ben Carson has taken the top seat on the hotel throne with a staggering 26% to the billionaire's 22% backing of Trump. The two literally had a role reversal from the last poll from the two media giants. In that poll, Trump was up 27% to Carson's 23%. The presidential race has lost two more candidates. Lincoln Chafee and Jim Webb. Jim isn't promising he's gone forever, but instead he is, quote, withdrawing from any consideration. Basically, he isn't for sure going away, just watching the candidates tear into each other and then swoop in later and say, I'm back. A former Colorado radio personality is now under fire because he allegedly groped Taylor Swift at a meet and greet in 2013. A security guard accused him of the action a day later, which subsequently made the personality lose his $150,000 job. The whole situation is quite muddy right now because the personality has sued Swift and Swift has sued him for assault. Sorry guys, I don't have a lyric pun for this week. Oh wait, let's just say they aren't out of the woods yet. A woman in Chicago caused a giant backup on the streets after she jumped on the front of a bus's bike rack, claiming she is in fact a bike. The bus driver got out of the bus and pleaded with her to get down, and other pedestrians and motorists were as well. An angry commuter was heard yelling, "Lady, you are not a bike. Get off the bus. I gotta go to work. I don't care what you are. Will you please get down?" Her response, "I'm a bike." Kelly Clarkson recently revealed the gender of her second baby via Instagram. She posted a photo of her daughter River with the caption, "In other news, River's gonna have a little baby brother. Hashtag it's a boy. We're so excited." And to round out the entertainment report for this week, we have Magic Mike XXL in the Vulcan Theater. It's been 3 years since Mike Lane's retirement from stripping, but the former dancer misses the excitement and feeling of being on stage. Most of all, though, he misses the best friends that he ever had, the crew known as the Kings of Tampa. Opportunity comes knocking when the guys look him up as they travel to Myrtle Beach, South Carolina for a stripper convention. With the promise of outrageous fun, reinvigorated Mike can't resist the chance to join in and take it off again. Now, I gotta say, guys, the reason I said when we started out, I'm Matt Heggie, is because we're trying to go as different characters here on set. I went with the goatee to try and imitate Matt Heggie over there. I don't know if it's working out too well. But yeah, it's Halloween. That's an exciting time right now.
Yeah, and we kind of paired up together as from the board game Clue. She's Miss Scarlet. I'm Mr. Green. I got my green tie on. So yeah, fun time for Halloween, and last time we'll ever get to dress up here in Newscenter.
Oh,
so.
sad face.
Yeah, so always a fun time though.
Halloween's one of my favorite ones because you do get to dress up. It's different and it's fun because you do get to try and be creative and throw in just all different kinds of costume pieces. And I was a little girl, I love dressing up. So of course, I'm gonna love to dress up for Halloween. So I'm very excited for Halloween.
Just waiting for Christmas when I can go as Santa Claus.
Thanks, Ryan. And when we return, Matt Hagee, also posing as another character, has your sports report. Stay tuned.
Watch CUTV online anytime, anywhere. Check out your favorite original programs, coverage of the biggest events on campus, and cheer on your Vulcan sports teams. CUTV. Log on. Tune in now. Visit cutv.calu.edu/live.
The time is now, the place is here. Stop running, face your fear. When it all come down to this, you only get one shot, can't afford to miss. The time is now, the place is here. Stop running, face your fear. When it all come down to this, you only get one shot, can't afford to miss. So, let's get it, let's go. Go hard and go home.
Welcome back to CUTV News Center. I'm Matt Hagee, while today as Kevin Spacey with your sports report. Seeing the season begin to slip away, the California Vulcans football team was desperate for a win on homecoming Saturday. They welcomed in the surprisingly unbeaten Clarion Golden Eagles, who had not defeated Cal since 2004, the same season Cal last lost a homecoming game. Now let's go to the highlights from our reigning Adamson Stadium. It was miserable out there. And on Clarion's first drive, Connor Simmons gets picked off here by Aaron Terry, and Aaron Terry's got to do a little running. Aaron Terry gets California at the 11-yard line of Clarion and sets them up in good field position on their first drive. And California would take advantage here on 3rd and 17. Harris looks for his favorite receiver, Gary Brown, for the touchdown and gives California an early 7-0 lead. But the Golden Eagles would strike right back on their next drive here. Connor Simmons bounces back from the interception to find Kevin Ginevro on a quick pass into the end zone, and Golden Eagles tie this game here at 7. California would respond as John Franklin gets in from 2 yards out to continue his scoring streak. He scored in every game this season, which is 8, and gives California a 14-7 lead. Now California right here, John Franklin here, this time on 3rd down, gets his 2nd touchdown of the game to make it 21, not the card counting game, to 7, Clarion Golden Eagles. Now James Harris here looks to add to the California lead, but he underthrows Gary Brown. It's intercepted by Miles Edmonds, and he sets Clarion up here in a good spot with all the momentum. Now Simmons this time goes back to Ginevro. Great pass, great catch in the corner of the end zone, and Clarion makes it a 1-score game again. And California would respond on their next drive. They always had an answer for Clarion on this day. Jimmy Wheeler, the freshman sensation running back, makes it 28-14 in the 2nd quarter. Now Clarion tries to cut in the Vulcans' lead right before halftime, but Brendan Blair has other ideas. He intercepts Connor Simmons' his first career collegiate interception, and we go 28-14 into the 2nd half. Now in the 3rd quarter, Simmons gets picked off a 3rd time, this time by Vondell Bell, that halts a Clarion drive that went into California territory, and Connor Simmons was just not having a good day. And it gets even worse for Simmons here on the next drive as he tries to throw a screen pass here, and it gets intercepted by defensive lineman Cameron Tarver, his first career collegiate interception, and he decides to run it back for a touchdown. The first California pick six in 2013. It's 35-14 Vulcans. Now Clarion again in California territory. This time, watch this. Tyler Haddock, another defensive lineman, big man with a football. Look at him go, folks. Still running in the Clarion territory again and sets up the Vulcans to add to the lead. And James Harris here on 4th and 2 looks for Gary Brown yet again. Again, a great pass, and Gary Brown tiptoes to makes it 42-14 California. It seems like this game's over. But Clarion would not go away here on 4th and 1. Simmons finds Kyle Evans, a great pass in the corner of the end zone to make it 42-21. And now you can see here Jimmy Wheeler trying to put the game away for California, but he fumbles the ball, and Clarion, again, would not go away. They continued to fight back, took advantage of the Vulcans' turnovers, as Simmons here gives off to Delreese Williams, who finished over 100 yards for the game and was 1 touchdown right there to make it a 2-score game with 10 minutes left. Things getting interesting. Clarion tried to cut in the California lead. Simmons survives a leap from Errol Brewster, but Jordan Bowman picks him off for a 6th time in this game, and the Vulcans knocked Clarion from the ranks of the unbeaten with a resounding 42-28 win. Franklin finished over 100 yards for the 3rd time this season, and Cal as a team finished with over 200 rushing yards. The story being Cal's defense with 6 interceptions, the most since last season when they picked off IUP quarterback Chase Hazlitt 4 times. Now California travels to Erie this Saturday to face off against the Gannon Golden Knights. This is the first meeting between the two schools since 2013, and both teams are in the thick of the NCAA playoffs, with the loser of this game seemingly eliminated from any playoff hopes. Speaking of Gannon and Cal playing each other in sports, the Cal U women's soccer team welcomed in Gannon's women's soccer team on Tuesday, who came in unbeaten and the #1 team in all of Division II for women's soccer. I was on hand for the rainy Tuesday night in the press box shooting highlights due to the weather, and now let's go to the said highlights from Phillipsburg Soccer Facility. You can see here Gannon, they dominated Cal in the first half right here. Caitlin Kissel here just goes high and ranks off the top crossbar, and we're still scoreless. Now here's Manny Bruckner for Gannon. She leads the PSAC in goals, but this time she shoots high as well. Now California comes in late here, finally gets an opportunity, about 10 minutes left in the first half. Janelle McCann goes for the corner, but it was saved there by Shannon Differ for the Golden Knights, and Gannon would get one last crack here before the first half. Nicole Felice tries to find Bruckner, but she goes wide. Now California came out of the second half very strong right here. You can see Selena Fushimi-Carms tries to get it over Differ, but it's too weak. Now here's a best chance for California on the night. You can see Danielle Kohler and McCann down there, tries to get it by, but Kohler misses the shot, shoots it wide, and we stay scoreless. Now Lindsey Green for Gannon tries to get a long shot here. It goes off of Felice, but Jays makes a juggling save, but Gannon would finally strike in the 78th minute as you see Bruckner gets wide open and puts it back. Megan Jays from an assist from Amanda Gallant and Gannon Golden Knights, and California comes close but cannot knock off the #1 Golden Knights. Despite being outshot substantially, the Vulcans fought hard and received a great performance from goaltender Megan Jays. Now the Vulcans look to their final regular season game this Saturday against Lock Haven, where they must win to make the PSAC playoffs. As the calendar approaches November, several Cal U fall sports teams are beginning to wrap up their seasons. Taking a look at some of the teams, we see men's golf just finished up their season along with the women's team at the PSAC Championships in Hershey 2 weeks ago. The men's team finished 5th, led by Tyler Robinson, who garnered PSAC Men's Golfer of the Week honors in September. The women saw a great fall season from Kara Vanderham as she closed out the season being named PSAC Women's Golfer of the Week for 2 straight times. Both teams will start up again in the spring, as will the women's tennis team, who saw the duo of Kiefer Shaw and Lena Dimmer winning the PSAC doubles title back in September. The team overall played 2 matches, going 1-1, and look to continue their PSAC dominance in the spring. As for the cross-country teams, they just competed at the PSAC Championships last weekend at Slippery Rock, and the men's team finished 8th, and the women's team came in 4th, which was their highest finish since 1980. The men's team saw Morgan Heigl emerge in his final season, finishing 1st on the team in every event he competed in. For the women, they were led by Julie Friend and Alex Zanella, who are just some of the individuals that now look to the NCAA Regional Championships at Lock Haven on November 7th. Now it's time for the Hagee 6. Here are 3 games from both college football and the NFL that I feel will be the top games to watch this week. We start with college and with the world's largest cocktail party as the Georgia Bulldogs take on the Florida Gators from Jacksonville, as they do every season, at 3:30. Then the big game in Philadelphia Saturday night at 8 o'clock as Notre Dame Fighting Irish square off against the unbeaten Temple Owls, which without question is the biggest game in Temple's football history. Then to close out Saturday at 10:30, the Stanford Cardinals travel to Pullman to take on the upstart Washington State Cougars. On Sunday in the NFL, the big game at 1 p.m. sees the Bengals travel to face the Steelers, who welcome back Ben Roethlisberger from injury. At 4:05, we see a show-me game, if you will, where the upstart Raiders take on a top AFC contender in the New York Jets in Oakland. And finally, the game of the week on Sunday Night Football, one unbeaten team will fall as the Packers take on the Broncos. And you guys with Halloween costumes, I know I'm Kevin Spacey because he now has a goatee, and I felt like that was pretty appropriate. But anyway, the PSAC basketball polls released today. The defending national champion women's team, #1, and the men picked 6th, which would be back in the playoffs. What are you looking forward to most this season?
Well, honestly, our women's basketball team, not to be biased, is my favorite team here at Cal. I love basketball, I love women's basketball, and I think our women's team can do great things. This year, honestly, though, I'm not so sure that they can be first. I'm really honestly looking for Westchester to take first, but I think Cal can hold it really close.
And I'll look at the men. I think Cal, they're I think they're right at 6th. 6th, 5th, maybe even as high as 4th. That could get them a really good season for them. But they have a lot of really good performers, especially Richard Smith, who was named to the All-PSAC West team for the preseason this year.
I look for the Cal men's team to return to the playoffs after fighting hard last year, unfortunately missing the playoffs by 1 game. For the women's team, when Coach Strom's back there, that team is always going to be good no matter who they have back there.
And especially with Mickey Glenn, who is definitely the best player in this conference, without a doubt.
Oh, no questions asked.
No bias there. So, well, that'll do it for this week's edition of Newscenter.
Be sure to check out our YouTube channel at CUTV Newscenter.
Thanks for watching, and have a great weekend.